they made a deal. He's like, go get my son Peter from Earth, Terran, whatever it's called, and you know, his original Ravager group felt like he kind of went, you know, behind their back and shit. So they exiled him, and ever since then, it's just been Yondu and, you know, his other Ravager friends that, you know, that kick ass. But yeah, man, it was quite sad, to be honest with you. You know, I feel like I ended up liking Yondu a lot more than I did in the first one. Clearly, you know, it was sad. Yondu ended up dying, you guys. I was so heartbroken by that shit. I was like, no, not my Yondu. Very sad when he died. You know, that was fucking sad. But you know what? Yondu was a very, very important character to this film, to me. He did things that Peter, Star-Lord, didn't understand why he did them while he was growing up. But when you really think about it, he saved his life, not bringing him into his dad, because his dad, Ego the Living Planet, ended up being the fucking bad guy of the film. Like, what the shit? Like, I couldn't believe that shit. I was like, come on now. But yeah, he ended up saving Peter Quill and shit. You know, not giving him to his dad was very, very smart move of Yondu. So Peter Quill eventually realized that, and the moment Yondu was dying was the moment Star-Lord realized, I did have a father this whole time. It was you, Yondu. He never got to tell him that because he ended up dying. R.I.P. Yondu. R.I.P. Very sad. But yeah, man, what else, dude? I got notes for days, you guys. Mantis, you know, she was very polite, shy, you know what I mean? She didn't really know. She was bad at her interactions. Like, she was just always scared because she's never had interactions like that before between her and anybody else. But yeah, you know, her powers are pretty cool. You know, she can pretty much touch you and tell you how you're feeling, or control you for a brief couple of seconds or even a couple of minutes. Like, she was pretty much Ego the Planet's slave, like, hands down, dude. From what you've seen, he like controlled her ass and didn't do much for her. It was fucked up as hell. I was like, man, that's horrible, dude. Like, Ego the Planet was a fucking asshole. Let me just say that. What did he say? What did Yondu say at the end of his scene of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1? He was like, it's a good thing we didn't deliver him to his dad. The guy was a jackass. Clearly was. But yes, Mantis and fucking Drax. I know I feel something between them two. As much as Drax was a dick to her, there was something in the room whenever those two were around each other. You know what I mean? Drax didn't want to admit it because he liked thick women. But yeah, Mantis was a cool character. I'm glad that they added her in this film, and you know, she's gonna be in the next Guardian of the Galaxy. As far as, you know, Ego, you know, yeah, he's Peter's dad. He's actually a celestial being. So he's a fucking god, pretty much. You know what I mean? He's able to create life. He's able to create life on different planets, and that's what he was doing. When he created Peter, he had a purpose. You know what I mean? It was all a fucking purpose. And he's been doing this for a while. So it wasn't just Peter. That's not his only son or child or daughter. He went around the galaxy on every planet in his, you know, his actual life form, having sex and knocking up these fucking women and having kids. Worst father of all fucking time. Yeah, dude. And he was taking them, and, you know, he was hiring Yondu to bring them to him. And whenever he did that, he would kill them because he thought that, you know, these kids would be the one that would have that celestial type power. And that ended up being Star-Lord. You know what I mean? Because he found out that he was able to hold that Infinity Stone for so long. He was like, okay, now I know who's the child I actually need. So that was pretty trippy as well. Taserface. No, hold on. Sorry, I wanted to talk a little bit more about Ego the Living Planet. How much of a fucking dick he is. Such an asshole. He killed Peter's mom. He put a fucking tumor in her head. Literally. That shit was heartbreaking. And Peter went off on him. He was just shooting his ass. Pow, 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 pow. Like literally just capping this fool out. It was so super fucking sad, you guys. Man, when I heard that, man, I was like, oh my God. This is so sad. So fucking sad. But yeah, Ego the Living Planet was the main villain in this movie. Clearly the main villain. Taserface. Taserface was cool. I mean, he was funny for the parts he was in. With a name like Taserface. He tried to overthrow Yondu as the leader of the Ravagers. It worked for a split second, so Yondu, Rocket, and Groot all escaped and killed his bitch ass. Kroglin, Sean Gunn, that's James Gunn's brother who plays Rocket on the actual set, walking around tiny and shit. But Kroglin, he did have a big role in this movie. He was very, very, very loyal to Yondu. And he helped the Guardians out, ended up defeating Ego the Planet. But, like I said, he was very, very, very loyal. And he now has Yondu's, I don't know what it's called, Yondu's power source or whatnot. After Yondu passed, he ended up taking it and practicing with it. But yeah, Kroglin, he was cool. I liked his character a lot. I'm glad they gave him much more to do in this film. What else? Fuck. Yo, Aisha. Let's talk about Aisha. Aisha, she's pretty much, she hired the Guardians of the Galaxy at like the beginning of the scene of the film. She hired them to take out this creature that wouldn't take, their batteries or, their source of their power or whatnot. And then Rocket ended up fucking stealing some battery sources from them, and they found out, and then Aisha put a bounty on them because she wants to kill them. She was pissed. She felt betrayed as fuck. But she was clearly the secondary villain of the story. But I thought visually she was great looking. I loved her costume, the gold. I forgot what her whole people were called. I forgot. But they all looked cool as shit. Like the gold, the painting, I thought that shit looked dope as hell. And the little pods that they were in, that they were in, but not in. You know what I mean? They're like little empty pods that can go out and do what they need to do, kill people, shoot them up and shit. But they actually weren't in it. So I thought that was kind of cool. Nebula. Whoo, man, Nebula. I feel for this character, I really do, you know what I mean? She was captured by Aisha because she was trying to steal those battery packs that Rocket took. So she was after the same thing. And then, the Guardians ended up doing that favor. And in that favor, okay, you give us Nebula. And that's what they did. They did a fair trade. But man, Nebula, dude. So much hate because of Thanos. Like, the shit that she went through is just sad as fuck. She brought up, these memories that her and Nebula used to fight. Thanos used to make them fight. And every time Nebula lost, he took something from her. He took out her brain. He took out the side of her face. He took out her arm. And replaced it with these metal parts to try to make her better than Gamora. It just didn't happen like that. Gamora was always on top. And I quote this is what she said. She was like, you always wanted to win. She was talking to Gamora. You always wanted to win. And I just wanted a sister. So that shit was heartfelt as fuck. I was like, oh my God, no. Very sad, very sad. But yeah, I really did like, Nebula in this movie. Like I said, they hashed it out at the end. She left, but you know what I mean. They realized that the only people they really have are each other. So I thought that was pretty cool. Let's talk some cameos, man. Some super cameos in this movie. Stan Lee cameo. He was with the fucking Watchers. That shit was dope. If you don't know who the Watchers are like these fucking Watchers of the universe with these big ass heads. The original Guardians of the Galaxy, like the original, made a cameo. with Sly, Sylvester Stallone's character. Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock is being created by Aisha, and Adam Warlock plays a big part in the Infinity Gauntlet. And Adam Warlock is like the cosmos of Vision. Like, he's the Vision of the cosmos, pretty much. So he's very powerful. I believe he gets majority of his power from the Soul Gem, which they haven't introduced in the MCU yet. Some say that Heimdall might have it in Thor Ragnarok, but they haven't introduced it yet. And he's going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. I can't wait to see who's going to play Adam Warlock and how that all goes down. That's going to be dope as fuck to me. Howard the Duck, of course, made a cameo. He was in the first one. Fucking David Hasselhoff made a cameo. If you guys seen the movie, so you know that shit was hilarious. I always thought my dad was David Hasselhoff. That shit was funny, man. But you know what? In all honesty, you guys, I really thoroughly enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I thought it was better than the first one. That's my opinion. I thought it was better than the first one, action-wise, story-wise, just everything. You know what I mean? I definitely loved this movie. I feel like it did its job for me. It really did. And James Gunn is now writing the story for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which they've already confirmed. They even confirmed Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 4. But that's another video. But yes, you guys, I really enjoyed it. If I had to rate this movie, I'd give it an A fucking plus. I enjoyed it. The soundtrack. Oh man, I didn't even talk about the damn soundtrack. The soundtrack was amazing. Great. The feels all in the soundtrack. The soundtrack had its moments in every scene whenever the song was playing. Love the fucking soundtrack so much. He ends up losing that soundtrack. Like, he ends up getting, I think it's called a Zoom or whatnot, that can play 300 songs given to him by Kraglin. And he was like, this can play 300 songs? So no more cassette player for Star-Lord. That's it. Fucking Ego crushed that shit. Fucking ruined it for his ass. Fucking dick. But yeah, you guys, like I said, God, I can't wait to see this movie again and again and again, and buy it on Blu-ray and watch it again and again and again. I really did enjoy this movie. I really did, you guys. God. James Gunn, thank you. Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, Michael Rooker, Vin Diesel,